Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I asked the cards whether there are two signs we haven't talked about yet and would have a message for them. And it was very interesting because four cards jumped out and two Leos, two Pisces. So I think it was pretty clear that today we're going to talk about Pisces, what's going on February and in the next 4 weeks, and for Leos. So if your sun, moon, ascendant, your strongest planet, or you have anything related to those signs, then there might be something for you in this. Let's start with Pisces. Even the first two cards that says talk less and feel more and honor your feelings um, gives me the message that you've been doing something such as talking that you like, but it's also more outside of you rather than inside you. So you honored something that was probably action and something that is more exhausting than going back to you and rest. And especially I'm saying because the other card came out was Tongarsuk, and his message is that you need to prioritize sleep and rest to generate energy and emotional peace and a focused mind. So it talks a lot about how much action and goal setting are integral elements of a well rounded life nowadays, and how much we say that the modern society um, is really pushing us towards a perpetual productivity and success and action and almost no rest. So we just fell onto the other side of that balance, the other side of that equation, and we are not in balance. So it tells me that you are probably not in balance and you have worked hard for something and you might have achieved it, or you might have worked hard for something you haven't yet achieved, hence you can't stop. But it's pretty clear that you are getting really exhausted, and all these messages about how much rejuvenation you need mentally, spiritually, energetically, and even physically and emotionally is clear from this card. And um, you need to really take a rest and not feeling guilty about it. So it's not about just, as I said, like being lazy. It is to recover, to heal, and to get back into balance. And you can do it passively or you can do it actively. It can be the sleeping, it can be stretching, or it can be meditation, or it can be just connecting back with nature, and or maybe just friends. Sometimes how rejuvenating it is when you just meet a friend you haven't seen for a while, and you talk about topics that you haven't talked about before, but you also they encourage you to feel things more inside you, or just have a think about what's going on in others' life, so that a little bit you can step out of your life and your problems and your goals and your actions and just rest into it. And the other is that, so the other sign was Leo, and it came up to be humble and lighten up. um, and the message, so Tadana's message is not to be overprotective, because if, like, as a father wanted to protect his child, but it couldn't, because human nature is um, that we need to go through what we need to go through, and the more someone tries to protect us, the more we want that thing. So it's about becoming not that dad who is watching every step of the baby, but rather behave like a grandfather who, instead of hesitation, he now smiles and frees up his nerves and say it's okay if the child just stands up and then falls down, and he will stand up again and walk, and just be there as like a supporting energy. And because Leos are representing sun so much, and at the bottom of the deck there was Ra, it's so important to understand how burning the sun can be, and how burning that energy can be that you have in yourself, how much it can really just get through other people. And you know, like the UV rays, if you're out too much on the sun, they burn you. But if you are not, they keep you healthy. So it's kind of like, if you are now the sun, um, if you can control your own energy for the better, and no matter how much you want to give and protect, just step back a little bit and control that energy and say, I give just enough, so that everybody can discover their own journey. I'm not ruling here, I'm not directing here, I'm not telling what to do. I'm here like a really great friend, you know, when you think about that friend who's just there for you when you need them. They don't tell you what to do exactly, but they listen to you and they give you support and holding space and providing insight when you can. You know, you have heaps of insight, and that warmth that you have in your heart, in your whole being, is just invaluable, and many people need it. And this is when it's beautifully showing that if you have Pisces around you, they might be the people who now need your warmth, now need that friend's company who just pulls them out of their world where they've been just doing and didn't and forgot to feel and just be. And that's why it's coming together to utilize that power of the sun. And yes, leave everybody and let everybody go on their path, but be there for them, because probably there is somebody who needs your help actually. So it's not like you choosing who to shine at, but try to open your eyes and and see who is really needing it. And then I have pulled couple of cards about what kind of people are around you at the moment, Pisces. And what came out were the bat and the beaver. The bat is a night animal. And that means for me that there is a person in your life who either has been with you or had been, but or went through that darkness of the night, either with you or in their own life. Um, so that person knows exactly what you are going through, and probably it's a very friendly person in your life who really tries to help you, and it's hanging, the bed is hanging, so that person is hanging around you. So you definitely have somebody to turn to if you have any questions, even about how to rest and how did they get through, or how did they face the darkness. And the other is, what the bat represents is the rebirth. So because of that nocturnal life, it kind of also implying that after something has run its course and died or been released or finished, surrendered, completed, ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. And when, you know, the night is over, then the day starts. So I think most probably you have gone through something that was really hard, probably for a very long time, and it's time to finish it. But what it also tells that you might be clinging on to it. You might got used to it so much, to the darkness, that you take very slow steps to get out of it. And however you're exhausted and you need sleep and rest and feel more and be more inside you, you might refuse that. So that bet will remind you that however how can I say, you must have hopes and dreams, but probably your fears and worries were overtaking that space. And that reminds you of that kind of like that the morning will come. So every night is there and it's coming, and the morning is following, and all will be revealed, and those things that are now not visible for you, and like, yeah, what's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, well, how can I get out of it, you don't know, but first feel it, first trust it, go into your intuition, which is really strong, Pisces, and feel it, that you are out of it, how it feels when the morning comes, when you are out of things, so that it allows it to come in. So the beaver spirit is another person, and it says to lay a solid foundation. And the beaver is a really, really encouraging one who is there to work with you or work for you. So you might have a business and you might gonna hire a new employee to work for you, or you might already have somebody to work with and you are building a life, or you have a partner, a husband, a wife, somebody who you can really, really rely on. That person will be there, and it's not just there. So they work together. It also talks about collaboration. Beavers don't just, they can build it on their own, but they usually build it together, whatever they build. For themselves and for um, basically for nature as well. So they also keep some kind of balance in nature, and that person is around you. So to be honest, there are these two people who are really important for the next 4 weeks. They are really, really helpful people for you, and you can turn to them. You can rely on them. So let's see what came for Leos. One was the sandpiper spirit, and I could have bet that something about a baby and about a child will come out, and the other was the crow. And this was the funniest, and the crow kind of co-create. So that co-creation came up for both of you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have had a long-term friend, a long-term partner, or even a new person showing up in the next 4 weeks to collaborate with, who are from the opposite sign of whichever you are. And that sandpiper spirit is also talking about all that beauty of being a bit childish, enjoying life on a different level. Just forget about the heaviness and the burden of everything, and try to see it from perspective, from an other perspective. And the sandpiper's perspective, which says that in case your heart is heavy, or you had anything that pulled you down, and life seems to weigh you down, then the sandpiper's message is to lighten up your burden by finding joy and humor in the everyday, and become playful like a child, and filled with curiosity and wonder, and allow it to happen. So, like, just when you would feel like, oh, I'm judging something, so like, oh, what if I looked at it with a beginner's eye? What if I looked at it with a child's eye? And um, just bring that delight with you for those times when probably someone else will need it, because if you can see the world through joy, then that's what you can give to others too. So most probably in this month you will need to lighten up your own mood, and most probably you will give it forward to someone else, and probably you will co-create with someone, so it's better to give the goodness to them. Then I asked one more card about the future, and for Pisces, celebration came out. So this is also a very important point regarding being exhausted, because we usually celebrate what we have achieved, and you want to achieve probably, or wanted to, and you get tired, and we forget about celebrating all those things that we have achieved on our way while we wanted to achieve the big things. So I would say have a look at what what are those things that you have already achieved, that you can already be grateful for, that you can already get that pat on your shoulder, saying, yeah, I did that, by the way. Oh, by the way, I've done that too. And when you just start listing all this, then you will feel like, oh my god, I've achieved way more than I thought I did. And that celebration is pretty important. While I asked the cards, nothing came out from that deck for the Leos. So let's take another deck and see what's coming out from this one. Oop, 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 oop. There are a couple. There is a love song. Let love's melody inspire your dance together. So probably you might co-create with someone who has love for you, or you have love for that person. It can be romantic love, it can be friendly love, it can be a family love. And because the other that came was the leap forward, um, that says seize the moment and let yourself be loved fully, it must be a really, really reciprocal love. So I would say that's pretty good for the next month, Leo. And let's see what else we have. Just would like to ask one more card for each for career and see for Leo first. Here you go. What's coming? Duality. You've got this one. Do not forget about the dual nature of people. See if there's anything else. That one is kind of like a warning not to forget, but also it's not just, I wouldn't say not to forget, but to accept it. To accept it that there are people and there are situations that they say this in one moment and then might say another thing in another moment, and that might be perfectly okay because they are thinking according to the situation. So you might have something to do with that one, with that duality. You will face it. Maybe it's going to be your own duality that you need to acknowledge how you react to one person versus the other if they say the same thing. So just don't you lose your vigilance. Oops, perfect fit. That's for you, Pisces. So this one talks about finding the right path, the fit with the soul, and the ideal job. So I would say if you've been so exhausted recently that you maybe already resigned a job, then this one says you will find the ideal job soon. So if you are still in that job that is pulling you down, then the card says take a break, have a rest, and because you are meant to be here. And yeah, that's that's something that it's not just that to be here, but to be you here, and that goes back to that feeling to feel more and be that person who is ideal for the job, but also who is open to receive that ideal job. So yeah, all the best, regardless of everybody's struggles in everyday life. I think this is a really nice outlook for February and the next 2 weeks. And yeah, hope you liked it, and you can leave a comment or you can subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Bye.